Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna try to generate procedural maze or some kind of like a level design. This is such an example, like a maze that I generate. This one is not 100% procedural, but I'm drawing each and every maze using grease pencil by hand. There's of course there's also like an algorithm called Space Tree, and it has been converted into Sverchok. It's called Tree Generator by ELFNOR. So ELFNOR did some kind of let me quickly give it a call. So ELFNOR, it's called a Space Tree. This is one of the algorithm that's already available as an add-on. If you have like a bunch of points and you provide another like a kind of like a end points, this original point will try to find some kind of way to reach those points, and they're not gonna overlap. So this is the idea behind the algorithm. So we already have this in Sverchok. So either way, so you either use this algorithm or you draw it by hand. So I like to start with the one that's drawing by hand, because that's kind of always something that's always I keep in mind um, when I'm like making tools using Sverchok or animation nodes. It is like a nicer idea to be able to give user some kind of control over anything. So let's draw like some kind of procedural maze. Okay. Maybe this is like a character goes inside a cave, and I don't know, you want to make a lot of branching here and there. I guess it can be something like this. I think that's good enough. You can always draw all kind of maze, but this is like one example. So we have this grease pencil already finished drawing it, and I'm gonna convert this grease pencil into Bezier curve, and by default this thing's got link strokes, so it's linked at every strokes, but I turn it off. So now all we have is this guy, just a curve. File, save as new version. So this curve is all right, but it's a kind of dense. See, and it's not very efficient. And I like to be able to modify this curve as well. So I want to process that inside Sverchok. I want to separate the strokes as well and kind of combine it into a single, clean, efficient kind of curve. So we already know how to do this. In fact, there is one live noding that's where I'm kind of doing like a kanji kind of lettering, like a Chinese Japanese lettering, and with few strokes, and then we kind of resample the strokes nicely for animations. This is for this we want to do kind of more on top of that. So we want to do like a separations and then resampling, and then we want to connect at intersections and then generate something based on it. Okay, let's just start with it. If I grab this guy and use a viewer draw to look at the result, what I get is something like this. We can see a lot of lines, and they're very dense. Okay, and I think we need a way to resample it. Vector interpolations actually can do the resampling for us. However, before we do that, we need to separate each and every curves first of all. So I'm separating the loose part of this guy. If I turn on outliner and make sure I cannot select the curve, if I bake this curve from Sverchok, I'll get a 10 different curve here that's already been separated. So it's all happening inside Sverchok, so that's nice. So back to our curve. We already separated, but now we want to use vector interpolations to resample it, to make it a little bit cleaner. So, you know, we can already do this. And range float can do the job of resampling. I have some kind of algorithm that's kind of dealing with this resampling. Like if it's like longer lines, resample it more. If it's like shorter lines, resample it less. So there's another live noding that's already talked about it, but I'm not gonna do it. I can reload that node tree into this blend file, but I'm not gonna do that. For this one, really, this is kind of okay. We can just use this. UV connection will reconnect our line. As you already can see, okay, the line's already being resampled now, and I guess this is a lot more efficient, much less points, maybe only 1% of the original, and we can mesh join it, so it's become like a single object, but it's much cleaner. Okay, that's basically resampling the lines. Not a big deal there. But we have also intersect edges here inside Sverchok. This is super useful. We are intersecting every edges, so whenever it's overlapping each other, it should make like a point. Let me try to make that more visible by increasing the vertex size. So you can see that there, whenever it's intersecting with another line, it makes a point, and then we can merge double it as well. Yeah, I think this is being selected, or that's being selected. Cool. So yeah, now if we bake it, you will see that the result is very, very clean, and we can really they are all like just a single object, very clean. They're nice and intersecting, and we can do anything basically. We can turn it into skin modifier if you like. We can also do a little bit of randomization if you like. So based on the grease pencil that's being created manually, we can sort of move the line slightly. Probably good idea to put that before the intersect edges. So remove doubles here. Actually, randomize input vertices here. Give it a little bit of value in X and Y. So we can randomize the seed, and everything still work. Very, very nice. We can bake it, and if you want to do your own processing here from using skin modifier, you can do that. Skin modifier is super fast at doing this, and you can go into edit mode and do your own like scaling of this cave. You know, you can do that manually if you like, but you can also use Sverchok to do that. Sverchok has exactly the tool for you. It's called Mesher. Skin Mesher is exactly skin modifier, but it's inside Sverchok, and it's kind of doing the skin modifier. If you turn on the live, that's like skin modifier, and also subsurf being added on the fly. Of course, we can control the size of the skin, and now we have our maze already happening. What would be nice is to have like control over, you know, maybe it gets smaller near the end or something, but maybe for now I'll just like give like a random value. Let me use a float, for example, and with the float I will add a value. So this is gonna be like the default value, and this is gonna be some kind of noise that adds or subtract the original value. So we have like a randomization of the maze. So random number generator can do the job for us. Float, and this guy is plugged into that guy. This one can go in there. So this is can be like 0.3, and then this is plus or minus. See, I'll increase the value, and you can start to see this guy is changing. We probably need to give it an exact value, otherwise it doesn't work. So that's my plan. See, now it's a bit of, there's some kind of randomizations happening. If it go over, it just simply stop working. So we need to just give the exact value of the number of points we have. There you go, 152, and then grow it a little bit, and then this also maybe give value that's kind of making this happy. Something like that. This is a very low resolutions of our maze or our cave, but we can already see it is already working. You can use this for your level design. You go inside this, and then go kind of move around. I forgot, actually Blender has a way to do like a walking inside a maze, right? So I'm using Shift F, and then I'm kind of traveling inside the maze. What could improve this? Probably let's say if we are, maybe we can like flatten the floor and then add more resolutions to the cave, give it some kind of displacement, yeah, do things like that. And then so now we have like a complete level design, more beautiful, and give it some light. Oh, okay, we hit a dead end there. So anyway, yep, that's our procedural level design. We are using grease pencil together with a Sverchok, this guy. If you want to give it a little bit more resolution, I recommend you to just maybe kind of apply the skin modifier and subdiv, and then do more subdivisions, and then you can use displacement and give it like a cloud texture that's gonna add, or mass grave, actually cloud mass grave can be okay, so not too much. It's all a little bit not so natural yet. You can always tweak it. You might also want to add like some decoration inside this maze, like the stalactite and stalagmite, maybe things like that. Also, yeah, it is. I have to mention that this was inspired by one of YouTube tutorial. I might actually give you the link to that YouTube tutorial. So the next thing you want to do is, like I said, maybe some kind of flattening of the floor of this cave. Otherwise, it's hard to walk on. You can do that procedurally as well. If you go, and then go to inside edit mode and kind of just select the floor and then scale it in X, scale it in Z. Sverchok has tool like that already, so that's flattening the ground. Yeah, but anyway, this is it. This is one way you can generate like a cave level design ant maze or whatever creatures that live in the ground. They make this kind of maze inside the ground. Yeah, hopefully you find this useful. Let me know if you have any question, feedbacks, suggestion to improve this in the comment sections. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.